story. Joining us to discuss, my great friend, John Roberts, the co-anchor of America Reports. Thank you, John. In brief, this whole thing looks like it's going awry. It's just going wrong. What can you tell us?
It's going wrong faster, Larry, than I think anybody in this administration could have ever predicted it would, but not really a surprise to a lot of people who I talked to back when you and I were facing off against each other across the White House driveway during the Trump administration. Because when President Trump first floated the idea of pulling out of Afghanistan, I asked everybody from people at the NSC, in staff, to the National Security Advisor, to others in the military, are you under any preconceived notions that if the United States pulls all of its forces out of Afghanistan, that within 6 months' time, the Taliban would be back in control of that country? And they, to a person, said, no, we think that's probably going to happen, which is why the NSC, for a long time, and you know more about this than anybody, was recommending not pulling out troops from Afghanistan. But then, in the same breath, how many years can you stay in the forever war? But it shouldn't come as any surprise to anybody that the Taliban has taken over these provincial capitals, including Herat, which is the third largest city there, and has designs on Kabul. And the very fact that we are going to now send 3,000 troops into Afghanistan to help evacuate U.S. Embassy staff and other Americans who need to come out of that country is a real indication that this thing is on the tipping point of becoming the last days of the Vietnam War.
You don't suppose so 3,000 will stay?
According to John Kirby, they are only there on a temporary mission. What's interesting is that he didn't call this a NEO, which is vernacular for, or acronym rather, for non-combatant evacuation operation, which people would say, aha, Saigon, 1975. Oh. They're saying, no, this is just a temporary thing to help facilitate the exit of American forces. But imagine you're the average rank-and-file Afghani, who's there in the country, and they're looking at the Americans pull out wholesale, including American civilians, and you see the Taliban closing in on Kabul. What do you think?
You're doomed. You're doomed.
Yeah.
Taliban, Al-Qaeda, other terrorists. So under both Trump and really Biden, I'm told, Biden people, National Security Council, the Joint Chiefs, Milley and so forth, various outside consultants, nobody wants this complete pullout. They just don't want it, but the president's gone along with it. I guess politically, John, it's popular. But how popular is it going to be if we lose Afghanistan? There'll be a lot of blame.
Well, you know, I think if we lose Afghanistan to the Taliban and they don't allow al-Qaeda to reconstitute, they make good on their pledge to not allow ISIS into the country, because the Taliban and ISIS are anathema to each other. Then I think the American people probably won't care a whole lot. But should Afghanistan, under the Taliban, go back to what it was on September the 10th, 2001, then the American people will care a lot about it.
Yeah, this is a very tough nut to crack. We don't want to see America lose. I mean, it helps Iran, makes us look like a paper tiger. There's all kinds of nasty repercussions here. Who lost Afghanistan? That might be an issue. Okay, let me switch to something a little more pleasant. Where were you, more or less, in your great life and career when Ronald Reagan was signing his tax cuts 40 years ago?
I was actually living in Canada at the time. That's where I was born and raised. I moved to the United States in 1989. So I was here for the Bush 1 administration.
All right.
But I watched the Reagan administration from Canada, and I remember that people thought, because the conventional wisdom and the narrative from the left was, here is a guy who's going to cause World War III, and is going to destroy the planet.
Right.
And then by the time that he left office in 1988, even people in Canada were saying, you know, this guy's quite a revolutionary president. And when I think the big moment for him, because we didn't get the impact of the tax cuts, was the Brandenburg Gate speech.
Sure.
And we all thought there's a sea change coming.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down
this
that wall.
We thought there's a sea change coming here, and it was only because Ronald Reagan had the chutzpah, or other words, to get up there and do it.
And so Mulroney, Prime Minister Mulroney, was a great pal of Reagan's.
Great pal of
Two
Reagan's.
Irishmen telling jokes and yarns and stories.
Great pal of Reagan's, great pal of President Clinton as well. You know, he crossed the political aisle with a lot of alacrity.
Look back on it, and I know you got to jump, and I appreciate your time, Seth.